So what was modified in this, if you know? Because counsel asked you if there was modifications and things of that nature, and I'm just asking if you know what was modified in it.
Exactly at the moment, I don't have all of that in front of me. It's possible to see snippets.
These are things that Lindsay Googled on her cell phone. That's what this document refers to, right?
Somebody used the cell phone to Google it, yes.
Oh, you don't know who was actually using it, but this is
Exactly.
Lindsay's cell phone. 25 at 8 o'clock in the morning, Lindsay Clancy was in a coma, laying in a bed with tubes coming out of her body and certainly not wearing her Apple Watch. How did that happen?
Based purely on the report there, I'd suggest the data came from the phone rather than the watch.
I just told you about the watch. Did you ever look at this watch?
No, we can't actually pull data directly from the watch. We pull it from the phone.
How do you look at a watch?
We extract the data from the phone, which is synchronized to the from the watch to the phone.
Okay, so I'm handing you, is that an Apple Watch?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. And if I suggest to you that this was found a number of days later in Lindsay's bedroom in a drawer that the police never seized, have you ever seen this before?
I've never seen this before, no.
How long have you been working on this case for the government?
I started looking at this case in November.
Significant location visits on Lindsay's phone, August 23rd, 2022 at 9:34. Do you know what that says or what that means?
The created time of 9:34. That'd be when the device decided that the device had visited this location enough to consider it a visit.
Okay, do you know what that location is? If I suggest to you it's a doctor's office, would you be aware of that?
I don't recognize it from the coordinates.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Reddington?
Thank you, Your Honor. Morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Whiffin, just a couple of things. One of the takeaways or question that I had is that you were talking about, in reference to the Apple Health data, fair to say that there's an issue as to the accuracy or reliability of the Apple Health data. You've actually done research on that.
I've done research on it, yes.
Okay, and one of the things that you did is back about a year ago, June 28th of 2025, you did a blog article on Apple Health accuracy and reliability, and it talked about using a pitch, which I think is, you guys refer to like a football field or something?
It was a rugby field, but yes.
And then you had somebody put the watch in their right pocket, somebody with the left pocket, and then someone else held it in their hand, you measured it and things of that nature, right?
Correct, it was 3 phones.
Some of the things were off a little bit, but basically you put that in your report and you were able to draw your conclusion as to the accuracy and reliability, as you say, of the Apple Health data, right?
Correct.
Now, if someone is wearing an Apple Watch, is that what records heart rate?
As the heart rate is on the watch, yes.
It is on the watch,
Yes.
okay. And the steps that the person takes, things of that nature, the movement, is that on the phone or would that be on the watch?
That's on both the watch and the phone.
Okay. Now, if you have an Apple Watch and you test it or you examine it, would you be able to determine what information was actually recorded by the watch while the person was wearing it?
Yes, the information that's recorded within the Apple Health database does specify whether the information comes from the watch, the phone, or from a different device.
Okay. And in this case, if I understand correctly, the Apple Watch stopped recording data at, is it 5:23?
It was around that time.
Okay. I think you indicated that the watch stopped recording information at 5:23 p.m.
Yes, the last heart rate was 5:23:52.
52, okay. 5:23 and 52 seconds. And then I believe the phone and watch stopped recording at 5:38, was it?
The last usage of the, let me double check this. I believe the last usage of the phone to record flight climb data was at 5:38, yes.
All right, and after 5:38, it's pretty much blackout. There's no further information or recording, right?
Yes, not until like the phone was seized by police, I believe.
By the
But
police.
there's other activity, but appeared to be after the incident.
So the further activity would have been the following morning on the 25th of January, say around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning?
I ended my analysis on the 24th.
Okay. Well, so 5:23 PM, the watch stops recording information. 5:38 PM, both the watch and the phone stopped recording any information until the police picked up the phone apparently the following day, right?
Again, there would have been activity later on, but it wasn't usage, it wasn't health data. It would have been things like incoming calls, if
Okay,
there
so
were any.
when you went through the stair climbing and talked about the steps that were taken, the distance that was taken, that stopped at 5:38 PM, right?
Correct.
Now, you don't know, when I say you, I mean, as a witness, but also the police, whoever was wearing the watch, for example, if Lindsay's wearing the watch or carrying the phone, after 5:38, you don't know what was happening at 5:39.
Correct.
You don't know what was happening at 5:40, 5:45, right?
Correct.
Right up till 5:58, 6 o'clock PM, right?
Yeah, purely the data on the device.
So it could have been, the phone could have been put down, the watch could have been put down, battery died, whatever those issues could be, and the person would still be going down the stairs, going up the stairs, going in the backyard, doing push-ups, whatever. You
Correct.
just don't know, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things, you're familiar with the concept of location data, right?
Correct.
And location data, one of the things you looked at or you're aware of would be from Lindsay's phone on August 23rd of 2022. Is that correct?
Apologies, August 23rd, 2022?
Yeah.
I didn't go back
Okay.
anywhere near that date.
You have tested and written blogs, though, on location information, right?
Correct.
You actually testified in the case of Commonwealth versus Victor Arrington in Suffolk Superior Court in Boston in support of the accuracy of this particular artifact or information, right?
Correct.
So you're a true believer that the phone does in fact record accurately significant locations on the iPhone, right?
It certainly can, yes.
All right. And are you aware, or if I was to approach you in your expertise, you were talking earlier about latitude, longitude, things of that nature, right?
Yes.
So just to, you're familiar with, for example, significant location visits on Lindsay's phone, August 23rd, 2022 at 9:34. Do you know what that says or what that means?
The created time
Yeah.
of 9:34, that'd be when the device decided that the device had visited this location enough to consider it a visit.
Okay, do you know what that location is? If I suggest to you it's a doctor's office, would you be aware of that?
I don't recognize it from the coordinates.
Okay, thank you. This here you're familiar with too as well, right? The geo data with the latitude and the longitude?
Yes.
And you're familiar with the fact that you can take the metadata off of the information on the cell phone, one of which would be latitude and longitude. You'd be able to determine, for example, that this would be the Lindsay Clancy home, correct?
Yes, correct.
You've seen this before, right?
It rings a bell, yes.
Okay, I'd offer this, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, that may be admitted.
Thank you.
Exhibit 267.
All right, thank you.
Now, you have your report in front of you, right?
Yes.
And that's captioned Digital Forensic Report, and it's in evidence, so the jurors are going to be able to review it in its entirety, right?
Yes.
If I could direct your attention to page 11, I believe. Yeah, page 11. Okay?
Yes.
And just so the jurors are able to acclimate themselves to it, that would be this item here that you went through with the district attorney, right? As far as the searches, Google searches,
I have a different page 11.
different page?
That looks like this page 12.
Oh, okay. Well, let me approach you with what is your digital forensic report number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is this the same?
So this is a revision.
A revision?
The revision submitted in February that just had a different record highlighted.
Yeah, okay, so basically there's no big deal difference, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we can go by, you have the revised and I have the old. Can you look at January 10th on the Google search, for example?
I can.
You have it?
Yes, sir.
So looking at January 10th of 2023, just read along with me, and the jurors again would be able to look at this in the jury room. Prescription information at, it says 14:55. What does that mean? 12:14 in the morning?
14 a.m., yes.
All right. And then 19:11, which would be at 7:11 in the morning?
7:11 p.m.
Oh, PM, okay. Trazodone and Benadryl goes on about an hour later. Trazodone headache, Google search, goes on. Trazodone and ibuprofen goes on. Trazodone and Tylenol goes on to 2032, which would be 8:32 p.m. Trazodone and Tylenol interactions, right?
Correct.
Fair to say that these are things that Lindsay Googled on her cell phone. That's what this document refers to, right?
Somebody used this cell phone to Google it, yes.
Oh, you don't know who was actually using it, but this is
Exactly.
Lindsay's cell phone.
Yes.
You're aware of that. If we jump ahead, looking at all of these various Google searches, follow with me on, let's say, randomly, let's say, page 13, 1948, which would be 17:48 p.m., I guess. You with me on that?
Yes, 1948?
Yeah.
Yes,
How quickly does Wellbutrin work for depression? That's what was Googled, right?
correct.
Followed by Lamictal for depression, Elavil for depression, how to tell if you're sleep deprived, ketamine for suicidal ideation, right?
Correct.
These are all searches that were done on Lindsay's cell phone. On that particular date, chronologically, would have been the 12th of January, right?
Correct.
Now, without boring everybody, it goes on and on and on with searches along those lines. Suicidal ideation, drugs, trazodone, mixtures, things of that nature, right?
It does.
Page 17, if you have it, would be the Apple Note counsel asked you about.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I suggest to you, sir, that this is the Apple Note, I believe a previous witness may have read this to the jury, so they will have this in the room to read. But basically, this is the note that says, I was the healthiest, happiest mom. I worked out every morning, meditated, took care of myself, and basically my life has turned to crap, right?
Correct.
So what was modified in this? If you know, because counsel asked you if there was modifications and things of that nature, and I'm just asking if you know, what was modified in it?
Exactly at the moment, I don't have all of that in front of me. It's possible to see snippets going back over time. I do recall
Okay.
on the 22nd of December when this was created, it started with the same sentence.
Yep.
And there was a few essentially spelling differences
Okay.
as time went on. But as much as you can recover from the earlier versions of the note, it's a snippet. It's essentially two sentences, and the
Basically
rest
the
of it
same
is
note.
it's essentially the same note.
Okay, thank you, sir. Going forward onto page 18, page 19, and 20, would you agree with me that, well, actually, in 21, they basically contain photographs that were sent from Lindsay's phone to, it looks like Patrick's phone. Would you agree with that?
I believe the first few pages are sent to Mommy.
Okay. And this basically is the, there we go. This is the snowman in the backyard being made, right?
Correct.
And then Lindsay's phone is sending the blue.
Yes, the
and
blue
gray
messages
would
are
be
outgoing.
what? A response?
Yes.
And can you tell me what the response is?
The one on screen at the moment is the response sent from Mommy to Lindsay's phone saying that's a big roll of snow. I was wondering if you got enough for the kids to play in, and it's pretty nice day too, gives them something to do on a day without school.
Okay. And then your report then goes on with additional photographs of the snowmen. There's a box of Cheerios apparently. And then there's a photograph of a young boy appearing to be very exuberant with his arms up in the air. And then there's Lindsay's phone responds with a picture of the little girl with a mask on, right?
Correct. And this is a conversation with Patrick.
Patrick, okay. So are you able to tell what Patrick said, if anything, when he sent the picture of the little boy with his arms up in the air?
So at the very top of that message above the photograph, it says, got himself dressed. And that would be the message that was sent alongside the photograph.
Okay. And then what was her response?
Initially, it was just the photograph.
Did she respond any further in your report? Or your research?
Sorry?
Did you see any response in your research of the phone?
I don't remember seeing any response.
All right, can you look at page 22?
Yes.
Okay, and this would be on January 24th, 2023, and it looks, what time is that? 8:19 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, so if I suggest to you, sir, you can even look in your report, this is in the same thread with the little girl making the snowman, and the text about, it looks like a nice day, hoping you got snow, things of that nature. And there was a reference by the mother or mommy to get the hot chocolate ready, things of that nature, right?
The message at 8:19 a.m. that says cutie was sent by Patrick in
Okay.
a different thread to the snowman photographs.
Okay, but I'm asking you about the one that's underneath the snowman and the mummy text. The last commentary is get the hot chocolate ready.
Oh, yes, that's the one
Okay.
from...
And that's from the mother, apparently, right?
Correct.
Or someone that is in the phone as mummy, right?
And that
Okay.
was at 11:33 a.m.
Now, if you look on page 22, we can get to what you were talking about. It looks like January 24th at 8:19 in the morning, cell phone number 781-375-8564. And what does that say?
Cutie.
And that, so just tell us, so is that Patrick's phone?
Yes, that would be the phone stored as Patrick sending a message to Lindsay's phone.
And how did Lindsay respond, or how did her phone respond?
It appears that Lindsay reacted to an image with the love emoji.
Like a little hat thing?
Yes.
And then what did Patrick say?
Patrick asked, how's it going?
What did she say?
Good.
And then did she say anything further?
Yet she also responded, okay, her urine looked good, so nothing going wrong with her kidneys. A few.
So she indicates that her urine looked good, nothing going on with her kidneys, and then phew, like whew, something like that, right?
That's how I read it.
P-H-E-W? Yeah.
Yes.
And then he said good, right?
Yes.
And then as you go forward, there's more pictures of the kids with the snowman, making the snowman. Patrick then says to her at 11, looks like 11:29, am I reading that right, in the morning?
11:29 talks.
What does he say to her?
You're a good mama.
And does she respond?
She responds with an emoji, which is the face covered in hearts.
The face with the hearts? And then they go back and forth with each other up until getting the menu and asking what you want for takeout and things of that nature, right?
Correct.
Page 25, just in case you were looking. All right. Can you look at page 28 for me? And page 29, I can hold them up. They basically are just a continuation of photographs, little thumbnails of the kids doing snowman and sitting in the doctor's office, right?
Correct.
Okay. One of the things that you did is that you actually performed a comprehensive search. Is that a The full focus extraction, is that what you call it?
Full file system extraction.
Okay. And you did that for the phone belonging to Lindsay Clancy, right?
Correct.
That would be what you refer to as your appendix?
The appendix 1 of the Lindsay Clancy phone is 1,300 and some web search visits.
Okay. So I'm going to hand you what says report number 1, iPhone belonging to Lindsay Clancy, and ask if you can recognize that.
Yes, this appears to be the just the web history from Lindsay's phone.
Okay, so that's pretty much if anybody cares to look at it, that's the entire web history, right?
Correct.
All right, I'd offer this, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, that may be admitted.
Exhibit 268.
Then, Mr. Whiffin, you also had report number 4, which would be the digital report for Patrick Clancy's
I did.
computer. I'd offer that, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, that may be admitted as well.
Exhibit 269.
All right, thank
And
you.
then finally, report number 5 says Surface Pro laptop belonging to Patrick Clancy.
Yes.
So this would be your search of his laptop as well, correct?
Correct.
I'd offer this.
No objection.
All right, that may be admitted.
Yes, I didn't create it, but I recognize the report.
Okay, so that is a Cellebrite report of the extraction of Lindsay's phone, correct?
May
Yeah,
I
you
take
can
a page?
look at whatever you want, yeah, of course.
Yes, this is a report generated by physical analyzer, a Cellebrite tool of the device.
Okay. Now, if you look at the report, for example, just randomly on page, let's say, 9, bottom line, it says web history, I just grabbed that random, January 24th, 23, correct?
Yes.
And then you go to the right, and it says Lindsay's iPhone mobile library?
Yes.
Okay. And then it has the time that it was recorded, right?
Yes.
And what time would that be on that date, which is January 24th?
It would be 9:35 local time in the morning.
So if you jump ahead to January 25, 2023, let's say, is that 7 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. And that says, what is it measuring at 7 o'clock in the morning on January 25?
So this is for the hour of health data. So it's been aggregated and it shows that between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. There was 47 meters traveled.
Okay. And then it goes on and it talks about, again, 7 o'clock in some seconds, it talks about 134 distance traveled.
Yes.
Okay. And, for example, January 25 at 8 o'clock in the morning, it talks about distance traveled, steps counted, and distance would be 47
Yes.
meters or feet.
Meters.
Okay. So is that information that is coming off of the cell phone, the Apple Watch, or what?
That's coming from the watch and the phone and being displayed as
So
one amount of information.
It's coming from the watch, right?
The way that the data is presented there, it's coming from the watch or the phone.
Okay. And the data's coming from Cellebrite, right?
Correct.
And Cellebrite is God's gift to cell phone searches, right?
I like to think so.
I mean, you work for them, and you're also a guy that created all of this stuff for them, pretty much, right?
I've created some other tools, yes.
Okay. If I tell you, sir, that January 25 at 8 o'clock in the morning, Lindsay Clancy was in a coma, laying in a bed with tubes coming out of her body and certainly not wearing her Apple Watch. How did that happen?
Based purely on the report there, I'd suggest the data came from the phone rather than the watch.
I just told you about the watch. Did you ever look at this watch?
No, we can't actually pull data directly from the watch. We pull it from the phone.
How do you look at a watch?
We extract the data from the phone, which is synchronized to from the watch to the phone.
Okay, so I'm handing you, is that an Apple Watch?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. And if I suggest to you that this was found a number of days later in Lindsay's bedroom in a drawer that the police never seized, have you ever seen this before?
I've never seen this before, no.
How long have you been working on this case for the government?
I started looking at this case in November last year.
Okay, thank you. That's all we have, Judge.
All right, redirect?
Thank you. Sir, from the documents that defense counsel just showed you, the activity on January 25th, was it your testimony that it could have been from the watch or the phone?
It could have been either device.
What he showed you, did that have enough data on it to tell you specifically whether it was from the watch or the phone?
No, I'd need to take a look at the database itself and see where that information came from.
And you were saying that you cannot pull data from the watch itself, is that correct?
Correct. We don't extract the memory from the watch itself. We extract data from the phone, which is synchronized to the watch. So we ultimately get the watch data from the phone.
And why is it that you don't pull it from the watch itself?
Apple's proprietary connections, the encryption that they use on the device complicates extraction. And essentially, considering we get everything from the watch via the phone, it's just additional work required to pull data from the watch, which would just be a duplicate of what we already have.
And you said that the watch syncs itself to the phone, relaying all data that it's collecting to the phone, correct?
Correct.
And Lindsay's watch was synced to Lindsay's phone, correct?
It was.
And if you were able to look at the data from the dates defense counsel mentioned from the extraction itself, you would be able to tell whether the January 25th data was coming from the watch or the phone, correct?
I would, yes.
But you can't from what he showed you, correct?
From the printout, no. I'd need the actual data.
And if on January 25th, the police have the phone, and they're bringing it to an evidence room, and then they're bringing it to storage room, is that going to show steps and distance traveled?
Yeah, whenever the device is turned on, or whenever the phone is turned on, it will consistently record steps walked regardless of who's carrying it. It will consistently record flights climbed regardless of who's carrying it.
And so if the watch is turned off in a drawer somewhere, the phone would be what's relaying, or not relaying, but the phone would be what's recording the distance traveled and the steps taken, not the watch, correct?
That's the presumption, yeah. If the watch is turned off, it's not doing anything, any data would be from the phone.
And earlier, defense counsel just put in some exhibits of your indexes for all the data that you looked at for the phone and the computers, correct?
Correct.
And those indexes, do they contain everything that was on the phone and everything that was on each computer that could be pulled from the phone or the computer?
No, they were focused reports or focused searches. So for my reports, they were focused to essentially the internet history on those devices. The large Cellebrite report, again, I don't know who created that. I don't know what options were selected by that user, but there will be data on the device which is not covered in that report. By virtue of that's how decoding works.
And on the defense counsel asked you about the flights climbed and how the last reading was at 5:38 p.m., correct?
Correct.
The last incoming phone call that you registered on your charts was the 6:09 p.m. phone call from Patrick to Lindsay that she did not answer, correct?
Correct.
From 5:38 p.m. to 6:09 p.m., were there any other flights climbed showing from either the watch or the phone?
Don't believe there was, no.
And Your Honor, we'd move to submit the full extraction as the next exhibit. It's being copied now, so we just put a disc envelope in its place.
Yeah, no objection.
All right, that may be admitted.
If I may, Your Honor, so you make reference to 5:38 for her question that there's no flights climbed, recorded, or anything up until 6 o'clock, right? You just answered that question?
Correct.
That's because the phone was either dead, off, we already...